Hey y'all, today's video is going to be a little bit different. Thought I'd just share with you my journey to get me where I am now. And it's been an odyssey and a little bit unusual. So I'm going to grab my bag and get in the truck and we're out of here. Right, I was born in the early 1970s. Was raised in a small town a click or two north of Kansas City, Missouri called Parkville. Very picturesque. It's on the banks of the Missouri River. When I was about 14 or 15, my neighbor, he's a friend of my dad's, had a sailboat, and sometimes he'd bring it home and it'd be on the trailer in his driveway. Then he'd raise the mast and it would be taller than his house by a good measure. And I always thought, man, how powerful that boat looked. And I was just captivated by it. And then I had the opportunity to ride on it, and it really changed the trajectory of my life. Well, we are here at the first job. Right, it's 8:48. I like to clock in and out on every job.
Keep track of my time so that I can keep my hourly rate.
Right where I want it.
And everybody has to decide what their hourly rate is.
Get what you're worth.
But you also want to be a lot of value to the customer.
They are your sales.
I don't have a marketing team. I don't do any marketing at all.
I just try to take extra good care of the customers.
Because birds of a feather flock together.
Folks like these have friends just like
That's
them.
the people that I want. We're going to get started on
Job number 1.
I call it my stealth lawn care setup. Let me take you inside. Okay, so I just mowed the whole backyard on level number 3, which is very low. I like to keep it low. Kids play back there, and there's snakes around here, and if the grass is low, the snakes will not go in there. I think because the birds can spot them or whatever, I'm not sure, but it helps. And sorry there's a lot of noise. There's always construction in these neighborhoods. They're constantly making things better. They're actually tearing down a deck in a boathouse over there. And if you look over here, around there somewhere, somewhere, that brown house, they're actually moving it on a truck. But I'm sure the lot sold, make room for the new, bigger house. So everything just gets better and better in these neighborhoods. It was all just little fishing camps, actually, out on the west end of Galveston. It's really grown up to be pretty luxurious. These are all basically $700 to $5 million houses out here. There's one at the end of the street that's just amazing. It probably takes up 4 lots on the bend of the street, and there's water on 3 sides. Of course, this is a beautiful lot here. It's really been an amazing place to work. I've done all these houses here from new construction. I did the final grade on 1, 2, 3, I don't know how many of them, maybe on the street about 7 or 8. Because I planted all these Florida sable palm trees, did all the sod and the landscaping, and then I subbed out the sprinkler systems. So I did my fair share. So I'm gonna pick up some things fall from these trees. They're called self-cleaning. You really don't need to prune a Florida sable. They get the nice round tops, and then they just kind of shed what they need to shed onto the ground. So I'd rather pick it up off the ground than have to cut it off with a ladder. So they're really the best trees in the world and very cold tolerant. So I'm gonna do that and then do a little bit more mowing. But it was time to switch out the battery. Put this one on the charger and grab another battery out of the cooler.
And now, a message from our sponsors.
Cutting the grass this low really eats the battery. It's middle of February, and this time of year I cut low to get rid of the brown grass, the dormant grass on the top. It also helped control the broadleaf clover and other weeds that are growing, the dollar weed. Put down chemicals out here. It's gonna flow right in there. We're right next to the water, and there's fishing boats behind all these houses. So it's just not worth it. I'd rather just manage the lawn differently and avoid any applications whatsoever. I understand for different locations, but we're on an island and we're just surrounded by water. It just goes directly in the water and right into the fish. So I cut it low, and then when the grass starts growing, I keep it as low as I can, as long as I can. And then by the middle of the summer, I'm at the top notch of the mower. And then I work it back down in the fall, down to a number 3 like I am now for the winter time. And the cycle goes on. love electric, man. And it's just gonna get better and better, you know? Easy as that. That's it, man. We're out of here. That's the biggest job of the day. I was gonna prune a little bit more on that palm tree, but I decided to mow the whole thing instead. It's getting warm, it's starting to grow. Best that way. So back to my story. When I was old enough to cut the grass, that was my job. I shared it with my brother. We alternated. He would have the front yard, and then I'd have the big backyard, and then vice versa the next week. He got a little older and finished high school. Of course, he moved out of the house, and the chore was left to me, the younger brother. I hated it. Oh, I really hated it. I liked the city. I wanted everything to be concrete. I used to always say that. Why can't they just pave everything? Started doing it and doing it more, and it started growing on me, and I wanted it to look better and better. And then I saw that a lawn was mowed diagonally. This is way back in the early 80s. And I thought that was pretty cool. And so I did that, and then cross-checked it, you know, do it the other way. And then I got into fertilization and watering, and I would pull the weeds, and I'd treat it and fertilize it and really take care of it. And I remember one time my dad came out and he's like, you know, you don't need to mow the yard twice a week. And he didn't know that I actually did, because I had, with my own money, went out and bought so much fertilizer and been running up his water bill, and it just looked incredible. Best lawn in the neighborhood, you know. And eventually people would just stop and say, hey, do you do this? Is this your business? And first I was like, no, but you know, I can. And then I just slowly picked up accounts that I could walk to. You know, I didn't have my driver's license yet. And I remember I'd get mostly their $20, $25, $30, $40 lawns. And very quickly I realized that my hourly rate compared to what my friends was making was unbelievable. I was making $40 an hour, and my friends were making minimum wage that was $3.75. Yeah, I quickly realized that this is the way to go. It wasn't even close. And I remember the guidance counselor called me out of class and said, hey, you haven't taken your SAT test. How are you going to get into college? And I said, well, my plan is I'm going to go to community college. I'm going to take some courses that I want, like accounting, small business management, business law, stuff like that. But I'm going to run my own lawn and landscape company. And he was kind of doubting me and questioned me a little bit. And I said, well, I'm a senior in high school, and I make more than you do. You're the guy in the dead-end job, not me. And he's like, you make a good point. I'm not going to worry about you. Go for it. Gotta have the hoodie, man. It's a sunny day. Anything to keep the sun off you. Do what the desert people in the Mideast do. They've got this stuff figured out. I'd wear a robe, but it's not socially acceptable. But here's the house. All right, it's 10:54 and we're on job number 2. This is probably my favorite house. It's very easy to take care of. The lawn areas are about the size of this truck. And it's got these hedges, which I just baby, and I prune them every 7 days. I only take off a fraction, just a portion of the leaf, so I can use my string trimmer. I just like keeping this place perfect. I've never met these customers ever. I've been taking care of this place for at least 5 seasons. So my motto is make everything perfect and there's nothing to talk about. So I know they look pretty tight, but that's actually the before video. I'm just taking off a tiny little bit. You will barely be able to even tell. I really don't need any contact with anybody. I enjoy my time at work by myself. I think that's why a lot of us get into this line of work, is that we would maybe prefer to be with plants than people. No, I like people, but the solitude and the quiet, the tranquil atmosphere at work is what keeps me coming back. a lot of people get off work and they're totally stressed out. I get off work and I'm in a zen state of just relaxation. I'm tired and ready for a hot shower and a meal, but my mind is at rest from working with the plants all day, so I really love it. So how long did that take? Maybe, I don't know, I didn't time it, probably 30 seconds or something. And that's what I do every week, 30 seconds and it's done. And there's hardly any cleanup ever because I'm not cutting enough to clean up. I just lightly blow it off and the job's done. The plant looks perfect and I move on. So I've got most of the hedges done on this entire property in about 2 minutes. It's just consistency. It's everything in life. So I do the jobs quick and then that allows me more job time to do another job for the customer, which just adds value. As another company may spend, may bill out a couple hours maintaining a hedge like that once a month. That's how I do it. I just try to find ways to do it faster and then add on free services where they're like surprised when they come down. That's what you want. You want your customers coming down going, wow, pretty awesome for what we pay. That's an amazing price. So I'm gonna do some extra stuff because I got tons of time on this job. $31 on that one. What's next? We're gonna head down to the beach. Another house that I did from new construction and that I've had for probably maybe 12, 13 years. And we'll get back to the story. So I'm out of high school. I'm running my lawn care business and my landscape business, and I'm doing well. Not fantastic. It's rough in the Midwest. The season is so short. You got to make a lot of money quick and be disciplined enough to save it for the winter time. And as a young man, I didn't have the discipline, honestly, to set aside enough money when I was making it to get through the winter. So the winters were rough, and every winter I'd have to get another job doing something. I was working up there and I was just getting really tired of the seasons being short, and I had bought my own sailboat at that time, a 19-foot Flying Scot, and I was doing a lot of sailing, and I was just getting tired of the lakes being so small, and I wanted some big waves. I remember one of my last sails on that Flying Scot was in 60-mile-an-hour sustained winds. I called a couple buddies when I saw the forecast for high winds, and I said, let's go. We got to go sailing in this. They were crazy enough to go. So we went. Sorry, I'm driving up here, and I think this house might have sold, and I wonder if these are the new customers moving in. So I think I might go talk to them. These might be the new people. We'll find out. Otherwise, I'll be losing an account today. That's the only way I lose them is when they sell. And I've had a lot of these accounts for a long time, and the people are just getting old and they don't need their beach house anymore. All right, well, I'm really glad I hopped out and talked to that guy. That was the new owner of the house, and I went up in price. That's what's great about every time a house gets sold, you have an opportunity to reprice it. So I'll go up $5. That was the $35 account before, and I'll go up to 40. That's my new minimum. I will not do any job under 40 bucks. Just by the time you drive there, do it, the billing, the accounting, the communication with the customer, it all takes time, and that's got to be paid for. You'll be another great customer, I can tell. Told him how great the last customer was for 20 years, and they gave me Christmas bonuses every year, every single year. Really great people, and you hate to see them go, but that's life. People come and go.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
That's the lady that told me, oh, you got to move your car. And I'm like, why? And she's like, so my lawn guy can park here. And I'm like, I don't think so. She about lost her mind. It's kind of funny. I wish I had it on film, but yeah, she thought she'd tell me what to do. I'm like, nah, that was nice. I smiled the whole time. And then she wouldn't leave. I just had to start ignoring her. And she's like, are you ignoring me? And I'm like, yeah. That's just being friendly as hell. Funny. This is a jatropha tree. We got a little burn from the salt spray. No, it got cold. What am I talking about? I just came from the beach. I'm used to seeing salt damage. But this is a little bit of cold damage here. So I'm just gonna kind of shape up this jatropha and then walk around the garden and see what else I can do. Another one right on the water, little canal house. Y'all gotta check this out. That's that lady that was giving me problems about where I parked. Now she's standing over the guy, pruning the hedges. The entire time I've been here and telling him, you know, a little more here, a little more there. The whole time. Wouldn't that drive you crazy? She's all over the guy. Oh, I feel sorry for him. I'd be like, I might not be the guy for you. I'm just not used to that. I mean, they've been working on the edge of that shrub for the whole time I've been here. She just keeps saying a little more here, a little more there. So she's just explaining everything. It's just pruning the edge of a shrub. Some customers you don't want, like a lady like that. She's out to slow you down as much as you can to make her feel like she's getting more of a value somehow. Just the worst right there. Just staring at it from every little angle. It's gonna grow back in like 5 minutes. Overseeing the whole project, Karen. And I can hear these guys losing their patience. See how she's just pointing at stuff like, a little more over here, a little more over there. Those poor guys. (2022) is going to be awesome. There's a lot of things I'm going to do different that I will tell you guys about in the future.